Good evening, this is the Oscar expert here with Brother Bro, and we're gonna discuss the 1917 trailer. This trailer has confirmed that this is indeed a movie that is mimicking being shot in one take. This is some Emmanuel Lubezki shit right here. This is some Birdman shit, some Revenant shit. This is just a director who's like, I'm gonna make a feat of filmmaking, and I'm gonna take one of the best working cinematographers, and we're gonna win each other Oscars. This movie is Birdman and Dunkirk if they had a baby. And the only similarity is Birdman is one take. Dunkirk, it's really everything. I mean, they seem to be playing with like the time theme. Dunkirk was all about that, with like the different threads. And this movie is telling a story where, you know, it's all real time. Just a thrilling, perhaps even haunting war story. It can't have like that much depth, but it can be just like cinematic and captivating. It can speak for itself. It can be about the horrors of war by being a horrifying and intense movie. That's all it really needs to do. Well, the story's got to be good. Like, did Dunkirk have an amazing story? I mean, not really. We're dealing with Sam Mendes. American Beauty, Road to Perdition, Revolutionary Road. He does movies with emotional cores. He's not making an action movie. Like, he cares about his stories and his characters, and I'm seeing George McKay, the lead in this movie, is really carrying a lot of emotion on his face. I see him as a terrified young man dealing with the horrors of being enlisted in war. Mostly, the film is about how do we make a thrilling war movie in a way we never have before. I mean, that's what the movie is. That's why it must be important. What award is this movie winning for certain? Who's winning another Oscar this year? It's Deakins. He's taking you into the trenches, and he's lighting it with candle, and then you go outside the trenches, and he's doing natural lighting, war smoke. It's all there, folks. And just the whole movie is a giant tracking shot. The whole movie is cinematography jizz. The opening of this trailer is soldiers going around, shining their lights in a tunnel, and it's like a little disorienting and crazy. That's cinematography jizz. Giant wide tracking shot with explosions in the back. It is cinematography jizz. If you don't think this movie's winning cinematography, there is something wrong with you. Something seriously wrong with you. Think about movies that accomplish such long take feats. Gravity, The Revenant, Birdman, Roma. Now, what do these four movies have in common? I will tell you, they all won Best Cinematography and they all won Best Director, okay?
What about Victoria?
Well, Victoria was a foreign film.
Folks, just a quick plug here. One of the greatest one-take movies, Victoria. Go watch that movie for a great one-taker.
But it is legitimately a one-take movie. It's not stitched together, and it's 2 hours and 20 minutes, and it's pretty insane.
Incredible, incredible film.
You agree that this is winning director?
Do I agree that it's winning director? I think it very well might win director, Cole. But director, though, it needs to be a great movie. I mean, it has to be as good as The Revenant, and The Revenant wasn't necessarily a great movie. So yeah, I guess it's winning director, Cole.
It'll get at least as good reviews as The Revenant, because is The Revenant underwhelming in terms of story? Like, maybe, sure. That's a valid criticism of the movie,
Exactly.
But like, are some people just, no matter what, going to be enthralled by like the filmmaking, and if that's all they need? Like, yes, there are going to be people like that. I don't see how this movie won't be at least that good and therefore get a bunch of Oscar nominations. What else is this movie winning, Justin? Sound editing and sound mixing. Dunkirk. Okay? How is that not going to happen?
It's going to be immersive sound.
What else will play a giant role? The production design. I mean, think about it, folks. They have to build sets for the camera to track around for however long, 8 minutes or whatever it may be. It is going to get...
360
sets. It is a lock
360.
For production design. That is for sure. I don't know if it wins, but it's a lock for the nomination. I mean, best score. Sam Mendes was saying, well, if I'm going to win everybody Oscars, who needs an Oscar? Thomas Newman needs an Oscar. My boy Thomas Newman. Been working with him since American Beauty, he has. And he says, hey Thomas, let's get you an Oscar. You've been nominated 14 times and you have never won. Let's get you a win in there, buddy. You can join me and Deakins on the stage and we'll all hold hands and win Oscars for this movie.
You know, Cole, it almost seems unfair about this movie just coming in with its little one take and just sweeping all these awards away. I mean, it's just almost too easy. And Cole, if I'm not mistaken, this movie's coming out on Christmas. So we won't see it at the film festivals, will we not?
We will not, but there's always that movie, and this is going to be it.
It just comes in there. The Revenant. This Revenant is the same thing. Didn't show up at film festivals. We didn't even see it before the Golden Globe nominations came out, and they nominated it for a bunch of awards. And that's the same thing that's going to happen with this movie. Shame that we won't see it earlier. Shame that it won't premiere at a festival. And we're just going to keep it in our predictions because, why would you not? Why would you not? Costumes? No.
It could maybe get costumes, but
costumes for everybody.
Well, I had it at number 6.
Uniform.
I had it at number 6.
Everyone having the same uniform. Copy paste. Control V. Control V. Control
Okay,
V.
well, you know what? It wasn't on my top 5, so I just think it's possible. I moved it to my number 1 spot on Best Picture.
It has as good a chance as any as winning. I mean,
oh, absolutely. I don't actually think it's going to win Best Picture. I think it's going to win Director and not Picture.
Yeah.
The reason that it's number 1 is because, what else is the front runner? Nothing. But if there's a director front runner, then that's obviously going to be in the winning conversations.
When you're winning Best Director, you're number 1 or you're number 2 for Best Picture. That automatically puts you 1 or 2. I mean, and you may as well put it number 1 because what else is gonna win right now?
We don't know.
We're
gonna have to wait for Toronto to see. Picture, director, cinematography, sound, production design, and score. That's 7 nominations, and it can win 5 of those.
Is there a screenplay and are there actors?
I wouldn't say screenplay for this movie. It's just such a director movie. It's not going to really be reliant on dialogue. I think George McKay looks very good in the movie, but I would not predict him for a lead actor.
And George McKay has been great in several movies. Captain Fantastic is one of them. But no, I don't think he'll get nominated. I mean,
please do not say that anybody, Colin Firth or Cumberbatch, is getting nominated for supporting in this movie. It's not going to happen. Remember when people were going, Mark Rylance for Dunkirk?
People were hopping up Dunkirk for ensemble. Absolutely
We knew from day one that movie wasn't getting any acting nominations.
Because all he did in that movie was, there's a storm. There's a storm coming.
Editing. No, not editing. It's not getting editing. I went over this in my last video, but
they don't care about long take movies for editing, do they, Cole?
No, they don't. I'm going to tell you a little story.
Did they nominate The Revenant?
Yes.
Did they nominate Roma?
Nope.
And that was expected. And did they nominate Birdman?
Nope.
They don't seem to have a preference for these movies that don't cut.
Really?
Bohemian Rhapsody won last year. That movie had the most cutting. They're going to sit there with their ballot and say, it didn't really cut.
You can't nominate a movie for the lack of editing. You wouldn't nominate a movie for costumes for having naked people in it. You wouldn't nominate No Country for Old Men for score.
My final point would be, for a movie that doesn't get nominated for screenplay or actors is not really a movie that wins Best Picture. It could win Best Director, it could win Best whatever. But winning Best Picture, more reserved for what is the most impactful drama of the year. It only takes one take to take the Oscar for Best Cinematography.